ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। भूयवे मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्येति होवाच। Shvetaketu says again a third time, may the revered sir please explain to me again. May it be so, my son. So Bhashyakara explained. No, we already have done that. Yeah. So now we have to read this passage on the page 271. Asya soumya mahato vrukshasya yo mule abhyahanyat जीवन स्रवे यो मध्ये अभ्याहन्यात् जीवन स्रवे योग्रेभ्याहन्यात् जीवन स्रवे सएष जीवेन आत्मना अनुप्रभूतः पेपीयमानः मोदमानस्तिष्ठते। He Soumya, O pleasing one, asya mahato vrukshasya, pointing to a very large tree which must be there in front of the father and the son. Yo mule abhyahanyat jivan sraved. The point is that there is a jivatma other than this body, that there is no death for the Atma, the death is for the body. to establish that, the example of the tree is given by the father. That should someone strike this tree, large tree, must be a very large stem. Mule abhyahanyat, shouldn't strike at the root. The tree does not die. Jivan, tree, remains alive. And what is the sign of the life of the tree? Sraved. At the place where there is that injury, there is a flow or exudation of sap from the tree. That shows that the tree is alive. Madhyabhyahanyat, that life is not confined to any given place, in the middle also, at the top also. If somebody strikes the tree with a sharp weapon such as an axe, the tree exudes sap, shows that the jiva or the self pervades the entire tree. And thus, that flow of the sap is the mark or evidence or the sign that the tree is alive, has jiva in that. So this is the Anvaya. Jive sati rasaheti Anvaya muktva. As long as there is a jiva in the tree, so long the tree continues to produce rasa or the sap. And so this is Anvaya. When jiva is there, there is rasa or the sap. Vyatirikamaha. Next passage tells us, when the jiva is not there, there is no rasa. Or when there is no rasa, there is no jiva. Both ways you can say. When there is rasa, there is jiva. There is jiva, there is rasa. When there is no rasa, no jiva. No jiva, no rasa. In a way, hetu anyonyam hetu hetumatvam. One is the Tikakara will explain, one is the reason for the other. So next passage says, Asya yadekam shakham jivo jahate athasa shushyate dvitiyam jahate athasa shushyate tritiyam jahate athasa shushyate sarvam jahate sarvashusyate. So this one says, when there is no jiva, there is no rasa. That's how. When jiva is there, rasa is there. When jiva is not there, rasa is not there. Yat ekam shakham jivo jahate. When the jiva abandons or gets separated from one branch, athasa shushyati, that branch withers away. Because there is no rasa. How long will the branch continue to be? As long as the branch is nourished by the sap. When jiva is not there, there is no formation of the sap, and therefore the branch is no more nourished and it withers away. Dvitiyam jahati, same thing for another branch and a third branch. Sarvam jahati, the jiva leaves the entire tree, then the entire tree withers away. So vyatireka, when jiva is not there, the rasa is not there. So Bhashyakara said, Tasyasya yat ekam shakham rogagastam ahatam va jivo jahati upasamharati. If a branch becomes so diseased, attacked by a disease, or it gets injured, cut by somebody, so when all the veins or arteries which are carrying that rasa are cut, then that branch can no more get the life. Then jivo jahaso, jivo jahati upasamharati. When jiva withdraws himself from one branch, shakhayam viprasudam atmamsam. On the page 272, reading the first line of Bhashya, viprasudam atmamsam. In fact, the jiva pervades the entire tree. So jiva only selectively withdraws itself from one branch. Then that branch withers away. Athasa shushyati. In course of time, that branch dries up. Now, in what way does the jiva withdraw? Vang manah prana karana gramanu parvishto hi jiva iti tad upasamhare upasamhriyate. So the tree has a gross body, the tree also has a subtle body. Wherever the gross body is, such as our gross body, there should be or must be a subtle body as well. Because the sentiency that this gross body has is not its own. It is a sentiency imparted by the subtle body. Therefore, when the subtle body departs, momentarily this body looks as alive as before, but there is no sentiency. So no apparent change has happened in the gross body at the time of death. Sometimes people die, that there is in fact some smile on the face sometimes, or peace. You think that the person is alive. Is not alive because the body is no more sentient. So whatever it was that imparting sentiency to this body is no more there. That is a subtle body. Therefore Bhashyakara says that tad upasamhare, when the subtle body consisting of vak, speech, mana, the mind, prana, the life breath, karanagramam, all this whole group of the various organs in which the jiva has entered, when that karanagrama, when those organs, the subtle body withdraws, then tada upasamhare upasamriyate, jiva also withdraws itself. Jivena cha pranayuktena ashitam pitam cha rasadam gadam jiva shariram vruksham samvardayat rasarupena jivasya sadbhave lingam bhavati. Bhashyakara said the rasa, the sap is a lingam, is the chinna or the evidence of jivasya sadbhave, that jiva is there in that branch or in the tree. Because rasa can be formed only when jiva is there. Jivena cha pranayuktena. It is prana, in fact, of which apana part is what in fact swallows the food. So Aitareya Upanishad told us a story how the self tried to catch that food with various organs, such as speech, such as eyes, such as ears, but he could not catch that food. And when he tried to catch with apana vayu, then he was able to catch it. The food was caught. So apana is the graha, the devourer of food, so it is established. So when Bhashyakara says prana, means the prana of which apana is one of the components. Jivena cha pranayuktena ashitam pitam cha rasadam gatam. That ashitam pitam, the food and the drink or the water that the tree eats and drinks. Rasadam gatam, when jiva along with prana is there in his body, then the food and the drink is transformed into rasa. In our case, child. In case of the tree, it is a sap. Jiva shariram vraksham rasa rupena vardayat. The rasa, so vardayat, nourishes that live body. Jivasya sadbhave lingam bhavati. That very rasa, which is formed because of the presence of jiva along with prana, which rasa nourishes the body, that of the tree, the rasa becomes the evidence of the presence of jiva. Jivasya sadbhave lingam bhavati. Ashra pitabhyamide jiva tishtati. How long can jiva remain in this body? As long as the food and drink is supplied to the body. Although we have evidence that people live without also food and drink for a long time. Jain sadhus live for days together. Santharo, when they decided to give up their life, 7 days, 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 50 days. So whatever ashitam pitam is there in the body, whatever food and drink, whatever is remaining, the body sustains on that. Even ashitam is not there, pitam is there. Not? So in case of that, what is Hira Manik Panna, somebody, that for 400 and some 10, 20 days, no food. I think you should take warm water with sunlight. So whichever way the food comes, the body requires to be nourished by some energy, that's all. The energy may be food or water or both. Even though we know in Ambaji there is this person who is called Ma, who is alive since last 65 years without water and food. But some energy gets from Ma, Basically the body needs energy, that's why in whichever way it comes. Whether it is the energy coming from some physical source or energy coming from some spiritual source. But the body does require energy to sustain, because whatever even limited activity you perform, these people who are given of food etc. don't perform much activity. But still the body is alive. Some activity is there and some energy is expended, and that must be replenished. So when Bhashyakara Ashita Pitabhyam, by food and water, which means that the energy that should come in case of tree, of course, the energy has to come from the food and the water. Dehe jiva tishtati techa, so the jiva remains in the body as long as the nourishment from the food and water is there. How long will the food and water come to the body? Techa ashidapite jiva karmanusaryanete. Then food and drink also is in keeping with the karma or prarabdha of the jiva. Because says the Tikakara, jivadehe annadi sannidhanepi kadachit ashanapanayo abhavat. Let us say that a person has decided to observe fast. So even though food is around, does not eat. That's the karma that inspired him to observe fast. Other fellow has become sick and so he cannot eat. Karma brings him sickness. But the idea is that whatever you do is the result of karma. Eating, drinking, anything that you do is a result of karma. Tasya ekanga vaikalya nimittam karma yada upasthitam bhavati. So when that kind of karma, which will produce the withering away of the branch. So when the karma which is responsible for the withering away, drying up, dying of the branch, when that karma becomes active? We say that when a person dies, it is a karma which is to bring about death. When that karma becomes active, person dies. Similarly, the karma for withering away one branch becomes active, then that branch will die. Tasyada ekanga vaikalya nimittam. Ekanga vaikalya vikalata sakalata vikalata. Sakalata, all the kalas are there, all the branches are intact. Vikalata, one kala goes. Vaikalya, and therefore one kala, in this case one part, one limb, one branch. So, the withering of one branch, when the karma responsible for that event becomes active. Tada jiva ekam shakham jahati. There is no food, no water, and the jiva will depart or discard or abandon that branch. Shakhaya so jahati, so asasa shusyati. So ekam shakham jivo jahati means what? Shakhaya atmanam upasammarati. When the jivatma withdraws itself from that particular branch, why does it withdraw? Because the karma for that withdrawal has become active. And therefore, the jiva withdraws itself from that particular branch. So whatever happens is due to karma. You wake up in the morning because of karma. You see the dreams because of karma. You fall asleep because of karma. Eat because of karma. Drink because of karma. Don't eat because of karma. Walk, don't do. Anything you do is all due to karma. Because the karma will plant a thought in our mind. Let me go for a walk. That thought comes. What brings that thought? The past karma brings that thought. But you still require other karma to actually walk. The thought may come and still you may not walk. Oh, not today, I'll go tomorrow. That is another karma. So this is how everything is explained as a result of karma. Because some reason has to be there for whatever happens. Nothing can happen without a reason. So whatever happens has a reason, and that is called karma. This is what we must have created for ourselves. Thus, when we perform any action, we create a destiny for ourselves. So what is the Purushartha today? Free will becomes prarabdha or destiny in future. Atha means tada sa shakha shushyati. Then that branch withers away. Now continuing, says Anandagiri in the 17th line, Jiva upasamharebi kimidi shakha shushyati. Just a question. Suppose a jiva withdraws itself from a branch. Why should the branch wither away? Just a question. Or, if you look at the other tika, evam jivopasamharam upapadya shakha shosham tan nimittakam upapadayati. These fellows are not cutting branches of the trees, for their fuel. That's my concern. Evam jivopasamharam upapadya. In this manner, with reasoning, having shown how the jiva withdraws itself from one branch, shakha shosham tan nimittam upapadayati. Tan nimittakam. That withdrawal of jiva is a nimitta or the cause for shakha shosham, for the drying up or withering of the branch. That's what Bhashyakara shows. Jiva sthiti iti. So next sentence, in the line number 7. Jiva sthiti nimitto rasaha जीव कर्मा क्षिप्तः जीवोपसंहारे न तिष्ठते. जीव स्थिति निमित्तो ही रसः. ससित अन्नगिरी जीवस्य स्थिति निमित्तम यस्येति विग्रहः. So jiva sthiti nimitto. Rasa is a very nimitta of the cause for the sustenance of jiva. Both ways, jiva sthiti nimittam. That jiva is there is a reason for the rasa to be there. The rasa is there because jiva is there. So Tikakara anyonyam hetu hetumatvam, you know. Hetutvam. Each one is a hetu for the other. So jiva sthiti nimitto rasaha. The rasa which is the nimitta or the cause for the sustenance of jiva. Jiva karma akshiptaha. That is, rasa is very much dependent upon the karma of the jiva. Jiva upasamhare na tishtati. All right. When jiva withdraws, the rasa no more remains. So jiva withdraws, so there is no rasa, or rasa is not there, therefore, but since karma is responsible, so we say that it is jiva karma which makes jiva do something. So karma of the jiva makes the jiva withdraw itself from the branch, and therefore the rasa which was there in the branch due to the presence of jiva can no more there, therefore the branch dries up or withers away. See tika se jiva sthitya rasa parinamo jayate. When jiva is there, the transformation in the form of rasa or the sap takes place. When jiva is there, the prana, apana, all the subtle body is there, and they bring about the transformation from food and water into the rasa and so forth. The jiva annasya rasadirupena pariname hetuhu. That the food etc. gets transformed into rasa is because of the presence of jiva. Anna rasecha saridehe jiva tishtati itartha na iti. On the other hand, only when the anna rasa is there, so long the jiva remains, otherwise not. Iti jiva sthiti rasa parinamayoho anyonyam hetutvam iti bhavaha. So, jiva sthiti, the sustenance of the jiva or existence of the jiva, and rasa parinama, the transformation of food etc. into rasa, both are the reason for each other. Rasa is there, so jiva is there, and jiva is there, so rasa is there. So jiva sthiti nimitta is explained both ways. Jiva sthitehi nimittam, jiva sthitihi nimittam yasya saha. Both ways you can say. Jiva sthiti nimittatva hetumaha. So how long does the jiva remain? Jiva karma kshiptaha. The remaining of the jiva in the branch is because of the karma of the jiva that it remains. Jiva samhare na tishtati. When jiva withdraws, then the rasa is no more there. Purvam vidyamano virasa apagacchati. I think it should be ityartha. So when jiva withdraws, see, right now there is rasa in the tree. When jiva withdraws, slowly the rasa also disappears. And that's how the branch withers away. That's the thing. The Tikakara continues. वृक्षोदाहरणं विहाय शाखोदाहरणस्य तु प्रयोजनं व्यतिरिक्तस्यापि जीवस्य नाशशंका निराकरणं वृक्षोदाहरणं विधाय अस्य महतो वृक्षस्य. Instead of the vriksha or the tree, in this passage the teacher gives the udaharan of a branch. Rather than saying that when the jiva departs from the vriksha, then the vriksha is no more, teacher says when the jiva departs from a branch. So earlier passage gave the example of vriksha, that if you strike at the root of the tree, middle of the tree, the top of the tree, then also the tree continues to live. That is the example of tree. In this passage, however, the teacher has shifted from example of tree to the example of branch. So, yada ekam shakam jivo jahati. When the karma comes, then jiva withdraws from one branch. Atha sa sushyati, then that shakha, the branch, withers away. So now the illustration is of the branch rather than of the tree. Prayojanam, what's the purpose? What's the intention? Vyatiriktasyapi jivasya nashasanka nirakaranam. You see, if the example of the whole tree was given, that when the jiva departs, then the tree withers away. Then you do not know whether the jiva that has departed is there or not. Somebody may say that maybe jiva died, therefore the tree is dead. Therefore here only example, one branch is given. That look, even when, so says, tannashe shakhantare sanasyad. Somebody may suspect that not only the branch dies, not only the tree dies, jiva also dies. What's the proof? Therefore, the illustration of a branch is given to show that jiva remains even when jiva remains in the rest of the tree, even when jiva is not more in this branch, still the jiva is there in the rest of the tree. Meaning that the branch dies, the jiva does not die. You see? Tannashe shakhantare sanasyat. If jiva died by dying of the branch, then rest of the tree also should die. But the jiva continues to remain in the remaining tree. Tasya ekasmin vakshe ekatvaditi, because there is one jiva in the entire tree. How many jivatmas are there in one tree? Only one jiva. How many jivas are there in our body? One jiva. So when one jiva departs, the body is gone. But when one limb is amputated or something, that limb dies. But the jiva remains in the rest of the body. So it is the death of the body and not the death of the jiva. This is what the teacher wants to demonstrate. That is why the example shifted from that of tree to the branch. Then continuing. Rasavagame cha shakha shoshamupaiti. So when jiva withdraws, the rasa is no more there. When rasa is gone, the branch withers away. That's the sequence. Then Bhashyakara continues. Tatha sarvam vruksameva yada ayam jahati tada sarvopi vrukshaha shushyate. Tatha, similarly says Anandagiri, tatha shakhayam ukta prakaranayate. So just as by withdrawal from one branch, how that branch withers away, similarly also by withdrawal from the whole tree, the tree will wither away. Tata sarvam vruksham sada ayam jiva jahadi. When this jiva withdraws itself from the entire tree, tada sarvopi vruksha shushyati, then the entire tree withers away, shoshanam, shoshaha. So that is the explanation of this passage. Now, the Tika says, both the Tika say, look at line number 36, Vruksha Chetanavan Rasasravena Shoshana Chinna Prahoranadi Matvat Manusya Dehavat Iti Anumanad. So from this experiment, this Anumanam or this inference can be made. Vruksha Chetanavan. The Vruksha is sentient, possessed of Chetana or sentiency, possessed of life. Why? Rasasravena, because of the flowing or exuding of the sap. Shoshana, Chinna, Prarohanadi, Matvat. Because Shoshanam, it dries up. Chinna, when it is cut like a branch. Prarohana, it can again, branch can grow again. Prahanadi matvat. So rasasravena, from rasasrava, from exudance of the rasa or the sap, you know that when that is not there, there is shoshanam, withering away. When does the rasa flow? Chinnam, when there is an injury or when it is struck. Prarohana, when rasa is there, then the tree also grows, is nourished. Therefore, rasasravena chetanavan, therefore the tree is chetanavan, is possessed of sentiency, manusya dehavat, like the body of the human being. Iti anumanat jivena atmana anuprabhutaheti. So by this inference, we know that the tree is very well pervaded by the jivatma. Iti jiva sattva pratipadaka prakruta drishtanta shrutescha. So this prakruta drishtanta, this illustration of the tree or the branch, is meant for jiva sattva pratipadanam, for establishing the presence of jiva in the tree. Vrukshadehe chetanavatva siddhehe. Therefore, so from the drishtanta illustration of the Shruti, we can infer that the tree and such other non-moving beings, there are two kinds of sentient entities, thavaraha, jangamaha, stationary and mobile. That the mobile creatures such as dogs and cats are sentient, nobody has doubt. But there is a question whether the stationary entities such as trees or creepers, etc., do they have life or not? Some people may believe that when life is there, that entity should be moving. The fact that tree does not move means that tree does not have sentiency, does not have life. This is what some people believe. So the Shruti says here that it is not the movement of the body which is criterion for the presence of life. It is rasa. It is the sap, the exuding of the sap, and therefore drying up of the tree. They are the evidence of the life or sentiency. So, Anumanam is, the rasa is the evidence for the sentiency of jiva and not the motion. Therefore, Vrukshadehe चेतनावत्व सिद्धेः. So entities such as tree etc., which are immobile, Chetanavatva Siddhe, they are possessed of Chetana, they are possessed of sentiency. That is established by this example given by the Shruti. The example of illustration helps us conduct Anumanam. So Anumanam or an inference basically is for Vedantis 3 limbs. Pratignya, the proposition, Drishtanta, the illustration, and then the proof, So, Parvato Vanniman Dhumatvat, that is, so the Drishtanta, that's all. So, Yatha Mahanase, just as in a kitchen you see that, so that is Drishtanta. Here also, the tree is so vrukshadi chetanavat, vruksha etc. so possesses chetana. Rasatvad, they say rasamatvad, because it's possessed of rasa. And so, achetanaha sthavaraha iti yad bauddhamatam. So with this illustration now it is proven that, so Manusya Dehavat, that was the example. The Tikakara example, Manusya Dehavat. So he said, Vruksha Chetanavan, this Anumanam. Vruksha Chetanavan, the tree is possessed of sentiency. This is Pratignya. So what's the Hetu? Rasa, so Shoshana, Chinna, Prarohanadimatvat, because the tree is possessed of drying up, possessed of being cut, possessed of growing. Why does this happen in the tree? Rasa sravena, because of the srava or exuding of the rasa. Therefore tree is possessed of this. Therefore tree is possessed of chetana or sentiency. Manusya dehavat, like the human being, because the blood flows. In the human being there is a cut, the blood will flow, that is a sign of life. When it's not cut, the blood helps the growth of the body also. So prarohanam, body grows, so that also shows the presence of life. Shoshanam, when the blood goes away, the body withers away. So just as the human body demonstrates these signs of sentiency, similar signs of sentiency are demonstrated by the tree. Therefore, just as the human body is possessed of sentiency or life, so also the tree is possessed of life or sentiency. Iti anumanat, by that anumanam, jivena atmana anuprabhuta, the previous passage said that the tree is very well pervaded by the jivatma iti. Jiva sattva pratipadaka prakruta drishtanta shrutescha. So Shruti says, of course, you don't need drishtanta. Shruti is enough to say jivena atmana anuprabhutaha. Moda pepiyamanaha modamanaha tishtati. You can see the life in the tree. Pepiyamanaha, it is abundantly drinking the water and eating the food. Modamanaha, you can see the tree is so joyous. So you can see the tree is, they are happy. That's a sign of life. And they were, because jivena atmana anuprabhutaha. Because the tree is pervaded by the Jivatma. So, but further, the illustration of the tree also helps, aids the Anumanam. So Shruti also is there, Anumanam also is there for us. Because there are people who do not accept Shruti as a Pramana, like Bauddhas. So what do you do for them? For them you have to present, because they always function on Anumanam, Tarka. Bauddhas are also Tarkikas. They are all called Tarkikas, for whom Tarka is the ultimate means of establishing their principles. So not only Nayayika, everybody is Tarkika, other than Vedanta. Because even though these Vaisheshikas, etc., seem to accept Veda as Pramanam, is only just in namesake. They take some sentence here and there and interpret it in their own way and then have come up with their theory. But Vedanta accepts the entire Veda as Pramanam, and so do the Mimamsakas. The Mimamsakas have their own conclusion. But Vedantin's conclusion is all sustainable in every way. So in our opinion, Vedantins are the true followers of Veda. So for us, we don't require Anumanam. Veda is enough. Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. But then we have to argue with other people. We can't present our Shastra says, so what? So we have to present before them the Tarka also. So we have to battle with them on the same ground on which they are fighting. And they resort to Tarka or the reasoning. Therefore, we also have to provide reasoning. So that's why this Anumanam is provided. Vrukshade Chetanavatva Siddhe. So even by inference also, it is established that the trees and such other creatures or entities which are immobile also are possessed of Chetana or sentience or life. Therefore now Achetanaha Sthavarahati Yad Bauddhamatam. The Bauddhas, with whatever reasoning we do not know, have come to this conclusion that Achetanaha Sthavaraha. I don't know why. That immobile entities such as tree, etc., are Achetanaha. They are insentient. You can see sentiency. So only, I think in the last century or century before, one of our scientists showed, who was the scientist? Jagdish Chandra Bose. That trees have life, but this is thousands of years old, But I guess he must have presented evidence which scientists will accept, because scientists won't accept Shruti as Pramanam. But this is known to us from time beginningless. Still Bauddhas Achetanaha Sthavaraha. The immobile entities such as tree are insentient. Ityat Bauddhamatam Kanada Ekadeshimatam Cheta Dayuktam. And Kanadas, some followers of Kanada, not all of them, also believe that these tree etc. are insentient, lifeless. Tad Ayuktam, their conclusion is improper. Iti Prasangadaha. Bhashyakara's Prasanga has come. Occasion has come, therefore Bhashyakara just makes a remark which has no relevance to the topic under discussion. But sometimes when the discussion is there, you can also convey some additional information for the benefit of the students. So therefore, Prasangikam. Therefore this topical discussion, topical statement is another part of Bhashyakara, Vrukshasya. Same thing says Anandagiri, Yattu Vaisheshika Vainashikabhyam Sthavaranam Nirjivatvena Achetanatvam Uktam. Vaisheshika and Vainashika means what? The Shunyavadins. So Buddhas also Shunyavadins may be saying it. Sthavaranam Nirjivatvena Achetanatvam. That's Thavaras, immobile entities, Nirjivatvana, they don't have life, they don't have Jivatma, therefore, Achetanatvam, they are insentient, Uktam, Tadeta Nirastam. So by this example, Shruti in fact refutes that conclusion. Vrukshasya, Bhashyakara says, Vrukshasya Rasasravana Shoshanadilingat Jivavatvam. Vrukshasya Rasasravana, that the tree exudes the sap. Shoshana, that the branch of the tree, the entire tree also withers away. Adilingat. So says Adi Shabda Vruddhi Modadi Sangrahartha. Adi, that the tree grows, Moda, tree is rejoicing. So when the trees are prosperous just now, when in India when it rains, you can see how the trees are so happy. How the new leaves are coming and how beautiful, fresh those leaves are. How the trees are, branches are all spreading out and you can see the trees rejoicing. You can see that. So, Vruddhi Modadi Sangrahartha, because of all this, Lingat, Vrukshasya Jivavatvam. The Vruksha is possessed of Jiva or life or has Atma in there. When Vashyakara says, Drishtanta Shrutescha Chetanavantaha Sthavaraha Iti. So, says the Tika, Chetanavanta Sthavaraha Iti Tadanantaram Siddhehe Iti Sheshaha. Iti Siddhehe. Drishtanta Shrutescha Chetanavanta Sthavaraha Iti Siddhehe. By Drishtanta Shruti, by this Drishtanta, what is Drishtanta? Say Esha Vruksha Jivena Atmana Anuprabhuta is Drishtanta Shruti. The tree, what the Shruti has described in these two passages is a Drishtanta illustration of the tree as to how the tree is pervaded by the Jivatma. So by that Drishtanta, Chetanavanta Sthavaraha iti, by Anumanam also we can arrive at that Sthavaraha Chetanavanta. Not only Vriksha, all these immobile entities are Chetanavanta, they are possessed of life, possessed of Jivatvam. Then Bhashyakara says, Bauddha Kanadamadam Achetanaha Sthavaraha Ityetad Asaram Iti Darshitam Bhavati. It is Siddhe because this is established by the Shruti as well as by Anumanam. Therefore, Bauddha Kanadamatam, the opinion or the conclusion of the Bauddha, Shunyavadins and Kanada, the Vaisheshikas. What is it? Achetanaha Sthavaraha iti. Their conclusion there, Sthavaraha Achetanaha, that the trees have no life. Asaram iti darshitam bhavati, by the way, that it is hollow, without content, asaram. Darshitam bhavati also becomes illustrated by the Shruti and by the Anumanam, that also can be derived from the Drishtanta of the Shruti. So Shruti says, and what Shruti says can be used as Drishtanta to arrive at the conclusion by Anumanam. Says the Tika in line 27, Bauddham prati iti pradarsanam tat pramanyasya sadhitatvat yujyate. Bauddham prati iti pradarsanam tat pramanyasya sadhitatvat, whatever that means. But I think what it means is that the Anumanam is a pramanam as far as the Bauddhas are concerned. So, tat pramanya sadhitatvat. So, whatever pramanam the Bauddhas accept, that pramanam has been now also established here. Therefore, Bauddhasya prati pradarsanam yujyate. Because Bauddhas accept Anumanam as pramanam, therefore, that Vrikshaha Chetanavanta, that conclusion, that the Bauddha Mata is wrong, can be shown here with the help of Anumanam, which is pramanam accepted by Bauddhas also. and therefore yujyate. So to say that Bauddha matam asaram, that the opinion of the Buddhas is contentless, hollow, is quite appropriate. Or Kanada matram prativa tat pradasham yojam. So what is this Anumanam is towards whom? Is towards Buddha or Kanada or both of them? Srikara says it can be said to be towards Buddha or only Kanada. So Kanada matram va. Buddhas, because the Shruti says and Buddhas don't, therefore Buddhas are wrong, and Anumanam also is therefore the Kanadas are also wrong. Tat prasam yojyam, that is how. That's how this passage is complete. Okay. Let us read the next one. Evameva khalu somya vidhe iti hovacha jivapetam vava kila idam mriyate na jivo mriyate iti sa eshaha anima aitadatmyamidam sarvam tat satyam sa atma tatvamasi shvetaketo iti bhuya eva ma bhagavan vijñāpayatviti tatha somyeti hovacha evam eva khalu somya viddhiti hovacha. That father said, in this manner, his somya, may you know this, may you see this. Jiva petam vava kela idam mriyate, that the tree dies when it is devoid of or separated from jiva. Na jiva mriyate, the tree that dies, the jiva does not die. May you see that fact, O my dear, from this illustration. Iti. Then Saesha is the same as before. But no Vyagra and Simha now anyway, because formerly the topic was merged into Sat and arising back in the Sat. Now that's not the topic here. So we need not now talk about the Vyagra or Simha, that they remain what they are after the sleep or after death or after the pralaya. Here the topic is different. Saesha anima, this is subtle essence. Aita atmadam sarvam, this entire universe or jagat has that sat or the subtle essence as its atma. Tas satyam, he Shvetaketu, that subtle essence, namely sat, jagat karanam, alone is satyam. That alone is truth, that alone is abaditam, that's irreducible substratum. Sa Atma, and that is Atma, the self of the entire universe. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, that's what you are. Iti. Bhuyama Bhagavan Vijñāpayatu iti. The revered sir may please explain again. May it be so, my dear. So Drishtanta Anuvada Purvakam Darshtantikam Vyachaste. Bhashyakara now explains the Darshtanta, what is illustrated by reiterating Drishtanta or illustration. Or says Annagiri Drishruti Drishtante Vakshitam Amshamanudya Darshtantikamaha. Or the Drishtanta of the tree and the branches the Shruti gave, what is the Vakshita Amsha? What is the intended meaning? All this cutting and all of this is all big. What do we have to learn from that? So Vivakshitam Amsham, the Amsha or the part that is intended to be conveyed by the Shruti is what Bhashyakara now says here in the introduction to the next passage. Yatha ityadi. Bhashyakara says, Yatha asmin vriksha drishtante darshitam jivena yukto vrikshaha अशुष्कः रसपानादियुक्तः जीवते इत्युच्यते तदपेतश्च म्रियते इत्युच्यते यथा अस्मिन् वृक्ष दृष्टान्ते दर्शितम्, just as it has been shown, illustrated in this illustration of the tree. What is it? Jivena yukta vriksha ashushkaha. As long as the vriksha is possessed of jivatma, the life, so long ashushkaha, so long it does not dry up, does not wither away. Rasapanadi yukta, so long the jiva continues to exude the sap, continues to eat and drink the food, draw the food from the earth and the atmosphere and wherever. Jivati uchyate, so long the tree is said to be alive. Tadapetascha mriyate, and devoured of the jiva, the tree dies. So this is still illustration of tree. From that we have to make a general conclusion. This is about the tree, so drishtanta. And what you learn from the drishtanta is what Bhashyakara here reiterated. Iti uchyate. So that as long as jiva is there, the tree is alive. When the jiva is not there, the tree does not remain alive. So rasa panadi yukta panaditi adi shabdena odanam uchyate. Rasa pana, etc. Odanam means food here. Not so that not only drinks, it eats also, food. So tadapetasya mriyate, sestika mriyate ityadi shabda pathe mana shabdena rasapan abhava uchyate. How do you say tree is dead? Because no more drinking the rasa, no more exuding rasa, no more drinking water. That's why we say the tree has dried up, is dead. Adi shabdena shushkatvam iti vivekah. Okay, so I don't know, ityadi, mriyate ityadi uchyate. Suppose that's the patha, sorry. If they suppose the patha is mriyate ityadi uchyate, not even ityadi uchyate, ityadi shabda patha. Marana shabdena ityadi means what? Mriyate and other things that also said. So mriyate marana shabdena rasapan abhava uchyate. Mriyate means that no more exudes the sap, no more drinks the water. Adi shabdena shushkatvam, and then it dries up. So, rise, etc. Then shushkatvam is to be accepted as adi. Okay. So Bhashyakara says, Evameva khalu soumya vidhi iti hovacha. Evameva khalu soumya vidhi iti ho. So father said, hey Soumya, a good looking one, may you thus understand this. What is it? Jiva petam, jiva viyuktam, vava, kila, idam shariram mriyate, na jivo mriyate iti vidhi. Jiva petam, jiva viyuktam, vava, kila, idam shariram mriyate. That this body, devoid of jiva, dies. Na jivo mriyate, but the jiva does not die. This is what was the meaning conveyed by the illustration of the tree, and particularly illustration of branches. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadav पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। કાલથી પાઠ છે આપણે બરાબર. નવરાત્રિ છે કાલથી. એટલે 9 વાગ્યાથી આપણા દેવી સ્તોત્રના પાઠ શરૂ થવાના. નારાયણી નમોસ્તુતે એ પુસ્તક લઈ આવવાનું.
मनोबुद्ध्यहंकार चित्तानिनाहं न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्। न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोशः न वा पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्। न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्। न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञः अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहम् न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपः विभुर्व्याप्य सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तिर्न बन्धः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम्